All right, we've got our fun pumpkins, we've got our candles, we've got tea. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. You're tuning in to the Perfectly Powerfully You podcast, a space of epic positivity, radical self expression, and transformational growth. Join me in celebrating this beautiful thing we call life with even greater ease, flow, and authenticity. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Perfectly Powerfully You podcast. I'm your host, Nikita, and I trust, hope, and expect that you all are having a delightfully wonderful day. Today, we are going to be talking all about paradigm busting or paradigm shifting, i.e., how we can shift our thoughts and beliefs to be even more in alignment with the life that we would absolutely love living. One thing in particular that has been standing out most especially in my life these days, as I've been making even bolder moves in the direction of my dream, has been about money. More specifically, I've been asking myself, if it wasn't about the money, would I actually love to do this? And it's been a very helpful question that I've been asking myself even more these days to help shift my mind, shift my beliefs to be even more in alignment with where I would love to be. And it also allows me to get even more conscious asking these questions, and this one in particular is a really great way to have a better understanding of what's going on in your internal mind. And it allows you to get a better understanding of living a soul-led and heart-centered life. When we understand what's going to bring us even more alive in life, where our body is literally saying, heck yes, this is what I want, let's do it. Or alternatively, if our body's saying, yeah, no, I was just doing this because I thought it could give me some extra money. It's not really what I want to do, but we could do it anyways because of this, that, and the other. So, if you guys would love to learn how to shift some paradigms to increase even more love, abundance, success, vibrancy, and prosperity in your life by asking important questions and learning how to shift your mindset, then keep on listening and or watching. Before we begin, I just wanted to give a big thanks to all of you long-term listeners and the people who are new today for stepping into being perfectly powerfully you. It is a beautiful step in the direction of living an even greater life because you are only given one and you are deserving of living it to the best possible experience that you can imagine for yourself. So, without further ado, let's get on to it. Something that comes up in my own personal coaching and in the coaching that I do with my clients is that we often are conditioned to ask very weak questions of the universe. And more specifically, pertaining to the money aspect of things, what does my bank account say that I can do? When we ask weak questions of the universe, i.e., what does the outside experience say that I can do, be, have, achieve, or give? Then it means that we get weak experiences in life because we allow ourselves to be moved hither and thither by outside forces as opposed to living a inside driven life. As we are endeavoring in personal growth experiences, this is why you are here today and listening, because you want to live an even greater life and you want to do it by your design. When we want to have even greater experiences in life, we learn to access this by living an inside out life, which means we become even more conscious about what it is we are thinking, how we are feeling, and what we are choosing to make agreement with. Up until now, and I'm sure many of you relate, there can be very convincing conditions, situations, and circumstances that feel like they're out of your control. And it means that you have allowed yourself to not go on a vacation, not take a chance on a retreat, not invest in your personal growth, not go and visit family because you didn't think that you had the time or money. This is what we call living an outside in life. We look at the circumstances and situations, we look at our bank account and we say, well, because of this, I cannot do that. But since we are here today, we are learning to live an inside out life, which means we say, you know what? Maybe at the level of fact, my bank account looks a certain way, but I choose to make agreement with the truth. And the truth is, we live in an abundant universe. There is nothing outside of me that can dictate what I can or cannot do unless I allow it. So we ask higher order questions to allow the even greater to be present in our life. And we say, how can I do this? How can I visit my family more often? How can I invest in personal growth with even greater ease and flow? How can I go on this retreat? How can I? And you fill in the blank. And if you knew it was absolutely possible for you and you could not fail, what would you do? In order to allow the even greater still in your life, this is going to require you to step into a new becoming of yourself. Because the life that you are currently living is based upon a series of thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and subsequent actions that have resulted in your personal reality as such that you are experiencing today. If you would love something new in your life, it makes sense then that you must change how you are thinking and how you are feeling in order to allow something new in your life. Remember that our thoughts and feelings are just a set of automatic responses that we have conditioned ourselves to expect, and we think it's who we are. Say, for example, you grew up in a household that was under the poverty line, and all the people around you talked about how they didn't have enough money, and they acted in accordance with maybe not having enough food on the table, or going to the food bank to get other food, to maybe miss out on opportunities because they said, I don't have the money. So, growing up, especially in your younger years, feeling this constriction, feeling this anxiety, fear, or feeling of lack pertaining to the understanding of money and abundance in that way, it's understandable that it becomes programmed in your responses and how you choose to continue to act later on in life. This is when we are unconscious about what we are choosing to think and feel. So, as you continue to be conditioned into this feeling of when I think of money, now I think of lack, it's going to be continued in your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors well into your later years if you choose not to think something different about your relationship with money. And I want to remind you that just because something seems at the level of fact apparent in your life does not mean it is true. Sometimes conditioning is just bad conditioning. So I want you to propose this question to yourself. What is it that you would actually love to believe about yourself? Would you love to continue to believe that money is scarce, that money doesn't come to you, that you have to work hard for money, that you can't do the things that you would love to do in life because you don't have the money? Because you are welcome to continue to think those thoughts, and they will continue to keep the same results in your life if you choose to make agreement with them. However, I'm imagining because you are here, you want to learn how to become even more consciously aware of your thoughts and be able to shift them in order to live an even more expansive life. And it is well within your control. Nothing can be planted in your mind unless you allow it to be. And the more you continue to cultivate seeds of lack, fear, anxiety, and constriction in any way, you get to keep it. It will continue to grow just like the plants you see around you. However, if you would love to be the master of your mind, you sit at the front of your gate of the mind portal that is yours to command, and you say no. Up until now, and this is a fantastic tool you can use at any point in your life and in every moment of your day, when you notice those thought seeds surface and say, okay, I'm up until now, I thought that I was in lack. I thought that I couldn't do this because I felt in lack of the amount of money I see. But now I know that I am an abundant being. I know that there is a spirit, love, source, light breathing me that loves me and wants the very best for me. And I choose to make agreement with my abundance, my prosperity, the ever increasing flow that I am allowing into my life. And you keep firing and wiring those thoughts, those feelings, and neural connections, and they will absolutely build. So, what is it you would love to think about yourself? What is it that you would love to believe about your life? You get to choose. And it can be rigorous work. I know for myself, I am still testing the limits and boundaries of my life and what I choose to allow in my life. Up until now, I allowed circumstances, conditions, and situations to be the dictator of how I chose to step forward. I allowed what looked like to be lack in my bank account and in my life to dictate how I was going to move forwards. But now I'm choosing to take bold action. And for yourself, because you're here, you're allowing yourself to take even greater action to be the catalyst that is going to allow you to transcend to even greater experiences in life. So, as you're asking yourself, what do I want to believe about myself? I want to believe that I am abundant. And I do believe that I am abundant. I do believe that I am ever increasing in prosperity. I do believe that I have control over my situations and conditions. I do believe that I am supported in a myriad of different ways. I do believe that there is a source, light, that loves me and wants the best for me and is helping me. I do believe that I am not alone and that I have people who love me and wish the best for me. And I know that I can rely on others to help support me. I do believe that there are ever increasing opportunities that will allow me to step into even greater levels of experiences in prosperity and abundance. When you repeat this over and over again and you experience it within your body, it becomes your dominant vibration. And remember that manifestation is the physical byproduct of a dominant vibration. So make it a habit. Decide for yourself to not let any seeds of weeds be planted within your mind and allow it to surface and bubble up and overflow in your life. So it becomes, instead of, I see my bank account and I cannot do this, now you say, I see what's inside of me and I choose instead to allow everything to fall in place and in alignment that allows this to come into my life. On the flip side of this, and in conjunction with, who is it you want to let go of? Because as you're stepping into this beautiful, radiant human experience that is your life, there's a version of you that you need to let go of in order to step into greater experiences of love, of prosperity, of abundance, of greatness, of success, of peace, of wealth. The version of you that is not experiencing this is probably thinking lack, scarcity, doubt, fear, and this is not possible for me. You need to let go of him or her. And it's going to happen throughout your life. It's going to happen in every moment that you choose to continue to let go of him or her. Because this energetic space is filling up within your body. Just like I mentioned in other podcasts, if you have a cup and you want to fill it up with abundance and prosperity and freedom and peace and joy, if all of this is filled up, and this is your vessel and it's filled up with scarcity, lack, density, negativity, and constriction in any way, you cannot and you will not be able to step into this new life. So you must ask yourself and be consciously aware of, who is it that you are letting go of? And once you continuously release this person, bring to mind the thoughts, feelings, actions that are no longer serving you, and surrender it. Surrender it to this love that is breathing you, this light that is giving you life, and say, and ask for help. And say, I would love to release this aspect of me because I choose to want to live into even greater versions of this life. So you bring to mind and visualize who is it you want to let go of, and then surrender him or her. Who is it you want to become? What is it you want to believe about yourself? Visualize it and bring it into being. This is changing your paradigm each and every single time that you are doing it. In a moment, I'm going to give you some hacks, if you will, some tips, tricks, and tools that allow this to be even easier of a process. But for now, I want you just to visualize and write down, who is it that you want to let go of? All the habits, all the beliefs, all the thinkings and emotions that you no longer want present in your life. And then burn it. This is symbolic. This is just a way of being able to create resonance within your body and saying, this version of me, I am letting go of. Thank you, version of me, for getting me to this place and space where I can let go of you. But I'm choosing now to surrender you to something even greater still that will transform you into something even greater. And I'm choosing now to resonate with and embody this new version of me like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I am new. And the more you embody this, the more you say, nope, I let go of her or him. Every time the feelings come up and you're like, hey, actually, I remember, right? This is not who I want to be anymore. Surrender and let go, like a leaf falling from the tree once it's autumn time and saying, no, I've had the chance to cultivate you and now I'm letting you go. And now this new seed is being sprouted and I'm choosing to put my energy, my focus, my attention into this new beautiful blossoming seed of prosperity. And I'm choosing to let go of this lack, scarcity, and fear. And I'm choosing to embrace what is new inside of me. Now, before we get into the rewiring stage, I want to share with you an example and story in my life that has really inspired this podcast and allowed me to continue to teach my clients about how they can continue to do it in their life with even more skill and mastery. So there have been some opportunities that have been presenting themselves in my life, both in the ways that I want to step into even greater mastery of my mind and even greater opportunities that allow me to cultivate the life it is that I would love. Now, just because something has come up in your life, an opportunity or an experience, it doesn't mean that you have to take it. We say duh, but sometimes there are things in our life that when we become conscious of who it is we want to be, what it is we want to give our attention to, and what is a heck yes or a heck no in our body and in our energy, we get to become the deciders of our life. So, who it is that you are becoming, you want to become very familiar with him or her because they are stepping into a different life. They are living a different life. And when you resonate with this version of you that is already living the life that you would love, you are getting signals in your body that are a heck yes, this is going to lead me in the direction, or a heck no, this is not going to lead you in the direction. And you want to become very familiar with these feelings and the resonance in your body because it'll help you make even greater decisions moving forward in your life. So recently, there has been an opportunity to go on a retreat. And up until now, I told myself I wasn't the woman who invested in retreats. And as I was stepping into and leaning into the possibility of going to Los Angeles and going on a retreat and being a part of something even greater, which felt really great in my body. I was like, yes, absolutely. I see this opportunity. It feels in alignment with who I want to be. I want to continue to master my mind, master my beliefs, and master my actions moving forward. Yes, this is what I would love. And then when it came down to it, I I saw the price of purchasing the ticket and I hesitated. And I allowed myself to mull it over and I said, "Ooh, I don't know. I should probably use the money towards this trip coming up. I think it'll be a far better investment." And I was choosing in that moment to make agreement with the lack. I said, it's either this or this. However, in this moment, we have a choice, and I gave myself a choice. I said, Nikki, remember, you live in an abundant universe. And if you choose to make agreement with your lack, that's what you get to have. So if money weren't a problem, and if it wasn't about the money, would you love to step into this experience? And I just took money and I put it on a shelf and I said, doesn't really matter. Would I love to have this experience? And I asked my body, would I love this? Is this in alignment with who I say I am and choosing to become? And the answer was simple. My body said yes. And I got this overwhelming feeling of, yes, this is what I would love. And I said, okay. So in this moment, I chose to resonate with the woman who not only knows that she has the money and knows that she is supported, I chose to resonate with it and take a step. The step was purchasing the ticket. Up until now, I would have said, this is far too much money. I've never done this. I'm not going to take this action. However, now I'm choosing to be the woman who already knows that she does, and this is just her normal. In this moment, it is very important to resonate with this energy. If I chose to say, oh, I don't know if I have the money, but I really, really want this experience. But oh, I hope that I'm able to do both. And okay, I'm going to buy this ticket, but I don't know if I can really afford it. That's sending out a different energy entirely. I could have taken that step in that energy of lack and scarcity and fear, and I would get a different result. And I probably would have backtracked and said, oh, I actually don't want the ticket, and probably not would have gone through with it. In this moment, what you want to do when you are taking a step is you want to align with possibility. You want to step into the vision of who it is you say that you are. The woman or man who already has the successful, thriving business, who already goes on retreats and does this normally, who already has the vibrant, beautiful relationship, who already goes on these beautiful vacations and takes the time and money away to experience even greater possibilities. Putting on the energy is like reminding yourself that you are going from CNN to the Discovery Channel. You change the frequency of who you say you are being, and you take that action step. Because what that does in the quantum field is it sends out a shock wave of energy that then brings everything in alignment with abundance and prosperity to you. It is also the same in reverse. If I felt the feelings of lack, scarcity, I don't know if this is possible for me, but I'm going to try and take it anyways. That is, again, sending out a very specific frequency. This is where we get to be the masters of our mind and energy and actions. This is also an example of how I chose to shift my paradigm from I'm not the woman who does this to I am absolutely the woman who does this. Very subtle, but it matters. And this is how you are continuing to fire and wire and create stronger neural networks in your brain that become more automatic. The second opportunity that I had a chance to experience in life and getting in tune with my body is when I had a job opportunity or a side hustle to increase the amount of abundance in my life. Now, as I was talking with this prospect, I was feeling into it and saying, oh, I've never really done this, but it might be a cool opportunity. And as more information came up, I felt in my body that I was not interested at all. There was a part of me that wanted to step into this because I said, this would be a great opportunity for some extra money in my life. But my body was saying, I don't really want to dedicate the amount of energy and time that I feel like it's going to require in order to step into this. Now, the part of me that said, I want the extra money was coming from a feeling of lack, because someone who wants is not someone who has. And I want to repeat this because this is important for channeling your energy and vibrating at a different and more abundant frequency. And what I mean by this is resonating with the version of you that already has. Someone who wants is not someone who has. So this opportunity presented itself to me, and that version of me that was feeling lack said yes. But the version of me who says, I don't need this, I already have the money, that is who I wanted to choose to resonate with. And so the version of me says, well, if money wasn't an issue, if it wasn't about the money, would I love to take this job opportunity? And the answer was no. This is also how we shift our paradigms and shift our energy and shift our thinking when opportunities present themselves in our life. You cannot get to your dream. This is a quote I use often from Mary Morrissey. You must come from your dream. You must come from your vision. So if there is a version of you that says, I'm just doing this for the money, I don't actually want to do this, is not the version of you that is living your most awesome, vibrant, and successful life. Because if we're coming from a feeling and frequency of lack, and we are trying to get to our dream, someone who already has, and the version of you that is already living and has a successful business, the vibrant relationship, the radiant health, and the time and money freedom to experience everything and give everything you want to give, is not looking to get. So this is where we choose to come from and vibrate with and change the channel of our mind and energy. I said, okay, well, in this moment, I already have the money and I don't need anything extra because I'm already living with everything I already have. So would I love to dedicate my time and energy to this opportunity? And because I'm in tune with my body and I've asked myself this question, I noticed where my energy was. Is it up here? Is it all the way in my shoulders and radiating out? Am I getting a heck yes in my body? Or is it lower in my body, in my survival centers of saying, no, actually, is it all the way down here? No, this is a no, I don't want to. It seems like a lot of work. I just don't want it. And it became easy to make the decision in that moment. So when opportunities are being presented to you in your life, and if it is pertaining to whether you have or have not, take money out of the question. Just take it out of your answer and ask yourself, well, if I already knew that I had and the universe is giving me a blank check, would I love or would I love not? And ask your body and see what the answer is. Something else that can also help you in these moments, if you're not yet in tuned with what is a heck yes or heck no in your life, is to stand up and close your eyes and just stand straight. So what you're going to do in this moment is every time your body leans forward, then it's a yes. If your body leans back, it's a no. This is what I teach to my clients in order to help gain an even more mind-body connection. If you don't already have it, this is a great tool to enhance it. And start asking yourself questions you already know are true and you already know are false. So you can stand up and say, and for example, I'll say, is my name Nikita? And naturally, my body will start to fall forward saying, yes, my name is Nikita. I was like, am I 27 years old in my life? Yes, I am 27 years old. Am I a male or do I identify as male? And my body will start to swing back because I do not identify as male. Do I identify as female? Yes, I'll lean forward. So ask yourself these very, very easy questions that you know are a yes or a no. And this is going to take, again, some practice for your body just to get used to it. You're building this relationship and communication with your body. And so when there are things that are being presented in your life, then this can be a really easy way of making these decisions. And it also allows you to couple this with if and taking money out of the question, because sometimes our past paradigms are going to make it more difficult to answer these questions if we are saying, well, because of the money, I'm choosing to say no. And that's not where we want to go with this. We want to take money out of the question because the version of you that's living a very abundant life, who's already living into prosperity and knows they have the money, is not concerned about the money. What they are concerned about is the experience. Is it a yes or is it a no? So, for those of you who would love to learn and have even more one on one time to understand how you can build your mind body connection, to create even greater skill and mastery in how you can transform the life you have right now to the life that you would love to live, I'll encourage you to check out Mind Mastery Monday. This is every Monday from 3 to 4 p.m. PST for 1 hour live and free over Zoom. This is where I get to sit down with you and teach you the tips, tricks, and tools for the next 12 weeks for how you can transform your thoughts, actions, and beliefs to allow you to continue to step into the life that you would absolutely love living. And for those of you who would love some one on one time to understand where you are feeling constricted or hemmed in life, in one or more aspects of your human life, and where you can free up this space and create even more expansion, make sure to check out my website, perfectlypowerfullyyou.com, or send me a direct message through my email at perfectlypowerfullyyou@gmail.com, and we can set up a free strategy session together. All right, now on to the rewiring stage. I have 4 ways that I use on a regular basis and that I teach my clients regularly that allow you to rewire your brain and your subconscious to have even greater amounts of abundance and freedom in your life in such an easy way, a rigorous way, and a way that you have to practice, but that allows even more ease and flow in your life, guaranteed. Something that I love to do is create a mantra with an elevated emotion. So remember that 95% of our brain and our thoughts and beliefs are patterns in the past. It means that oftentimes what we are thinking are just thoughts, beliefs, and paradigms that we've conditioned our mind to think in order to make our life quote unquote easier moving forwards. What we can predict and what is automatic is oftentimes easier for our brain to continue to move forwards with. Oftentimes, because we are living in survival mode, or most of us are living in survival mode and in this feeling of lack and scarcity, our mantras are often, I don't have enough money, or I have to work hard for my money, or I don't like my job, but I have to be here because I need the money. This is probably your unconscious, or something similar is your unconscious mantra. So, because we are endeavoring to live an even greater life experience, we need to create a new mantra that is going to be coupled with an elevated emotion in order to change our thinking. Something that I love that I've adopted from Gay Hendricks' The Big Leap is that money comes to me in increasing ways all the time in a variety of different ways. Another way you can say this is I increase in love, abundance, and success every day, and I inspire others to do the same. This I couple with the feeling of confidence and of empowerment. And I resonate deeply. I say this over and over in my mind. I chose these because they felt like something I could believe. If this doesn't resonate with you, you can find something new. Like, I deserve ever increasing experiences of happiness and peace in my life. Opportunities to increase my wealth and abundance are coming to me. You want to make this believable, and you want this to be something that you say to yourself more than your limiting beliefs and stories. So, whenever you catch yourself saying, I am in lack, I don't have enough money, I have to work hard for my money, you want to notice this and say, up until now, or that was then, this is now. Now I am abundant. Now money comes to me in increasing ways all the time in a variety of different ways. Now I know that I increase in love, abundance, and success every day, and I empower others to do the same. Write it out. Plain and point blank, build that mind body connection and say, up until now, I thought I had to work hard for my money. Put a line down the page, and then on the other ones, rewrite what it is you want to believe about yourself. this is going to become your new mantra. And the more you say it and you create it with an elevated sense of feeling tone, it is going to be deposited in your subconscious and it will become even stronger than the up until now negative mantra you have been repeating. The second tip, trick, and/or tool that I have for you is visualization. You have probably heard this in my other podcasts, in other books you have read, or in other podcasts that you have been listening to, that visualization is key. This is because, remember, our brain is a record of the past. What happens is we have imprinted and conditioned certain thoughts and beliefs and feeling tones in order to validate our experiences. These beliefs, thought patterns, and feeling tones have come probably from an outside experience, that has been imprinted in your body. What does this really mean? This means that in a past, you have had some sort of traumatic event that created and instilled a very distinct feeling tone and emotion that was associated with a thought. Say, for example, there was an experience where maybe there was no food on your table, and that created this feeling of lack and scarcity in your life. And maybe your mother or father or guardian said, "We don't have enough money for food." So, what that says and what that associated in your mind in a very early stage is that this feeling of lack and scarcity, or this experience of no food on the table, what you are seeing and visualizing is no food or lack thereof. What your feeling tone was, lack and scarcity. And what your mind said and what you were imprinted is there's not enough food or not enough money for food. Now, over time, this gets repeated. And if it becomes ingrained enough in your body, it becomes a software program, as Joe Dispenza says, in your body vessel. So what happens over time, recognizing that our mind is a record of the past. If we continuously fire and wire neural connections that say fear, lack, scarcity, not enoughness, our mind is going to ask us to look with our eyes everything that is in alignment with this. So why is it important to visualize something else? You want to visualize the realities you want to have prior to the experience. And you want to emotionalize it in the same way that that first experience of maybe not having enough food on the table and feeling lack and scarcity and saying there's not enough, you want it to be just as powerful. You want it to be actually more powerful than that. And you want to emotionalize it in your body so that it recognizes not only is it safe, but that you start to look for all the reasons why you are abundant, why there is even more than enough. Because the more you do this and visualize it prior to the experience, your brain, the reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain actually that filters out everything you are not focusing on, will start to give you all the reasons and present you with experiences in your life that's already happening in order to validate what you are telling yourself that you are experiencing. Something that's come up in a lot of my reading has been the idea of creating a mind movie. This can be great for people who have aphantasia or the inability to be able to visualize in your mind the reality that you would love. So, creating a mind movie is basically like a commercial. You are going to have a awesome song that elevates your state and you're like, "Man, I love this song. I can listen to it over and over and over again. I just feel pumped up listening to it." You want something like that that takes you out of this lack, scarcity, fear, constriction, downward pulling energy and into something that is higher, vibrant, radiant, prosperous, wealthy, and you can feel the energy shift. You need that kind of song. That's the first thing that you want to do for those of you who want to create this mind movie as opposed to instilling it in your mind through meditation. Next is you want to have pictures. You want to visualize the life it is that you would absolutely love living. What are the images that are going to inspire you the most? If it's an even greater health and a radiance and vibrancy in your body, it could be you lifting weights, or it could be a picture of someone doing yoga. It could be a picture of your grandkids or your children and running around with them. It could be hiking a mountain you've always wanted to go on. It could be swimming in the ocean or surfing on the water. Whatever it is that you believe are going to inspire you the most to continue to promote these feelings, you want to couple that not only with this higher elevated song of epic proportion, but with images that are going to help couple that and inspire the mental experiences you want to have. And third, for your mind movie, you want to have wording. So just like commercials, they'll pop up images and then words associated with it. It's going to help you be able to tie all of this together. So finding words that, again, spark inspiration and interest in your mind. So instead of debt, maybe you want to have freedom and security. Instead of sickness, you want to have health, radiance, abundance, prosperity. Instead of death, you want to have life. Find the words that, and these, find the specific words that help amplify this feeling in your body. Just like the mantra that I told you in the first point, having a specific word associated with images plus a higher vibration, awesome song is going to help pull everything together, create the experience in your life as if it's already happening now. Now, the third thing that I would suggest, which is very similar to your mind movie, is subliminal audio and video. Now, I have been reading Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural very closely these days. And something I found very interesting was surrounding the idea of subliminal messaging and bypassing our logical brain and being able to directly reach our subconscious to strengthen the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that we would love to have. Now, he mentions that alpha waves are one of the ways that we can bypass our logic brain and go directly into the subconscious. So something that happens very naturally in our waking day, but closer towards bedtime, is that as things start to darken, the sun goes down, our brain starts to produce melatonin. And melatonin helps us become even more suggestible to things. It actually changes our brainwaves from beta, which is more logic thinking, into alpha, which is more of a sleepy state that we are far more suggestible in. So, something I was taught growing up is that you shouldn't watch TV before bed, especially if you didn't want to have nightmares. So, when I would have nightmares growing up, my mom was like, "Well, were you watching horror movies right before bed?" I would say, "No," but really the answer was yes. And then after I would wake up, I would be thinking immediately, and my body would be put back into the state of fear because not only did I watch a horror movie before bed, I had a dream about it because it was the thing I last thought about. And then I woke up feeling that exact same way. And it was the first thing I thought about because I watched it before bed. So, what does this mean for us when we are trying to create the life that we would love living and we want to change and shift our paradigms? Well, since we realize that we are far more suggestible right before bed because we are sleepy, we are bypassing our logic brain and things are going directly into our subconscious. So, by subliminally presenting audio and or video right before bed for things that we would love to instill in our brain, it is a great and easy way of being able to put things directly in our subconscious and allow it to be programmed into our brain. So I listen to meditations and I listen to people repeating, I am abundant, I am prosperous, I am healthy. And I just start putting it right before bed, all the things that I want to wake up and I want to resonate with, the things that I want to sleep on and allow my brain to just, think about while I'm unconscious, and what I want to wake up to the next day. So it is a really easy hack if you would love to just passively allow your brain to instill new programs, is to do it right before bed. If one thing that I've heard from my mentor is that you start your day at night. And so with this in mind, knowing how suggestible you are right before bed, I would highly suggest reading a book about it, putting on a soundtrack that has inspirational and uplifting music or messaging in it, and just allowing your brain to passively absorb all of the goodness right before bed. Now, the last thing that I would love to leave you with prior to my departure from this podcast is controlling our habits and our focus. Reminding ourselves that what the universe reads as your intention is where you place your attention. So when we are constantly focusing on and being on autopilot with all of the negative things that we're thinking about, all the ways life isn't working for us, why we shouldn't step into something because we're in lack, then again, we get to keep it. The universe is like, oh, well, she keeps thinking about being in lack. She keeps thinking about all the reasons why it's not going to work out. Well, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. So we want to be diligent. We need to be diligent and we need to be aware. And when I say need to be, again, it's all a choice. I'm assuming that because you're listening to this podcast, you want to master your mind. You want to become even more conscious of what it is you are allowing into your mind and body space. So, awareness is key. How I continue to develop my awareness is through a meditative practice and also breathing myself back into the present moment. This is something that I love to do, which is generating state. When I'm noticing my body feeling constricted in any way, then I breathe myself into the present moment and I allow myself to resonate with something greater. I bring to mind my gratitudes and my proud ofs, and then I just keep holding space for that as I'm moving throughout my day. This means that we must be more aware and we must control the habits that are not in alignment with who we say we are being. The person who knows that they have enough and knows that they have even more than enough is not someone who steals. They're someone who gives. So if you're noticing you're caught up in patterns of lack, and it's going to be articulated and it's going to be examined in your behavior. So pay attention to what it is you are doing. If and you'll know if it's in alignment with abundance and prosperity that you say that you are, or if it is not. Because there's a part of you that is unattached to everything you are doing, but aware of everything that you are doing. And as you are in this work, you are becoming more conscious and aware of your reality and who it is that you are stepping into. So if you notice maybe behaviors of saying, oh, I just want the cheapest thing, it's different from the person who says, I want the best value, I want the best experience, so I'm going to invest more in this. You are going to make different actions. You are going to take different actions in alignment with your thoughts and feelings. And this is going to create, over time, a pattern in your life. So not only are we one, choosing a positive mantra, knowing that I am abundant. Money comes to me in increasing ways all the time in a variety of different ways. We are also two, visualizing, creating an experience in our life prior to it even happening so that we change the record of our past to the reality of our future. We're three, we're subliminally messaging ourselves with all the reasons why things are working out for us, why we are having a great experience already in life. We're putting downloads into our mind and into our subconscious in order to create long-term software programs in our body. And because of all this, we are able to become even more aware of four, our habits and controlling where our focus is. It becomes easier to control where our focus is and what habits we are creating when we are changing our programming, when we are changing and shifting our paradigms. But this happens all simultaneously. It's not a one, two, three, and then it's all linear fashion. It's going to come up in your life at different stages. Maybe you're going to notice that you're walking down a path and you're about to take a step and you're like, oh, wait, this is not who I'm choosing to be anymore. Right, okay, I am an abundant being where money comes to me in increasing ways all the time in a variety of different ways. I'm not going to choose this path because that's actually old. That's old Nikki. That's my old self. Now I'm choosing to walk this way because this is a new habit I'm building and this is who I'm saying I am becoming. And so it's going to come at different ways, but the more conscious you are of it, the easier it is going to be. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I had such a blast being here with you in this moment in time and space of wherever you are listening and or viewing this. If you guys absolutely loved what you're listening to, then please like and subscribe and share it with all of your loved ones because it helps in creating even more awesome content. Until then, I trust, hope, and expect that you all have a superbalicious day, and I look forward to talking with you all very soon. Thank you all for joining me today because it has been my absolute pleasure to be here with you. Make sure to give this podcast a 5-star review and share it with all your loved ones because it helps in creating even more awesome content. If you're interested in learning how to effortlessly create even more health, vitality, and time and money freedom, sign up for my free monthly vision workshop live over Zoom. Until then, I hope you all have a powerful day, and I look forward to chatting with you all real soon.